Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited today because I'm going to be bringing to you this hot mess look right here. So this look was made using the new Trixie Cosmetics palette, which is their Back to the Fuchsia face palette. I also picked up one of their sparkles in Indiglow and one of their lip glosses in Chill Pill. So if you want to see how I got this look, keep on watching. Alright you guys, so now we are ready to get ready and try some of this Trixie Cosmetics makeup that I picked up. The things that I'm the most excited to be trying are the Back to the Fuchsia collection, so that's what we're going to get into today. I'll show you very briefly what I picked up was the Back to the Fuchsia palette. I also picked up the Summer of Love palette, which is the pinky one. There is a third palette which is orange, and I think it's called Mod About You. I have not picked that one up yet. It was out of stock. I picked up one of the lip glosses in Chill Pill. This is the one that they said was like the really out there shade, so like goodness only knows what I'm about to get into with that. And then I did pick up two of the little sprinkles, which are the Eye Safe glitters. So they have two different versions of cosmetic glitters. One is a larger size, one is a smaller size. I picked up two of the smaller size ones so that I could actually use them on my eyes. And I picked up the shades Indiglow and Slime Time. So this is the Indiglow shade, and it's like a teal to purple glitter. And then I picked up the green one, which is called Slime Time. So I know we're not going to play with all of that today. I wanted to get some stuff to play with the pink palette and some to play with the purple palette. So I figured today we would give the purple palette a try because I don't know about you, but I don't know if I know how to put on purple blush. So we're going to try that today. Oh, and I did also want to mention, so Trixie Cosmetics not the first person to come up with a purple toned highlighter or like purple silver leaning highlighter, so I did want to mention and clarify that. Let me see if I can get this palette open. So in the Back to the Fuchsia palette, you have three different shades, two obviously blush tones, and then this one over here is a highlighter tone. And the highlight on it just looked so pretty. I really wanted to try it. So you can see that's what it looks like. I wasn't sure if this was going to be too like deep for me, so I did also pick up the Ofra Cosmetics Neptune. Is it called Neptune? No, I'm sorry. It's called Retrograde Highlighter. And it's half Neptune and then half, I believe, Star Island. And you can see, I have no idea why the pan is like offset, but it doesn't really matter, honestly. They're magnetic pans. You can fix it. But that's what this looks like. I picked up both of these. I figured we could give them a shot today and try to make kind of a fun and interesting look here. Alright, let's start with eyeshadow because I already know I'm going to make a colossal mess here. I think I'm going to mix two different palettes. I've been trying to mix more of my palettes so that I get some like good use out of everything. So I think I'm going to blend together the Norns palette and the Colored Rain Power palette, which this one's kind of an oldie but a goodie, and I don't even think they sell this one anymore, so I'm so sorry. But if you were lucky enough to get your hands on it when it came out, that's what this one looks like. And this always looks very blue on screen. This is like a royal purple color. I'm not sure why it comes across so blue on my camera. I think it's like one of the light settings or something. And then these are definitely more like mauve-y burgundy kind of tones. This is sort of a gold, rose gold shade, and then you have an iridescent white purple duochrome there. And then the Norns palette I haven't actually played with on camera yet, but I've been playing with this a lot behind the scenes, aka before I go to work. And that's what this one looks like. So I thought maybe bringing in, you know, this colorful black shade might be helpful. I don't know if maybe bringing in this kind of, it's almost like a taupey gold silver blend might look really pretty. This actually looks very similar to the glitter that I picked up, the indigo glitter. But I thought these might be interesting palettes to kind of put together. So I think I'm going to start with Outsider over here, which is like a teal color, believe it or not. And I'm just going to use a fluffy brush. This is a Nabla something. My eyes are continuing to tear up, so I will probably have some patchy eyeshadow today. I would not hold that against the actual eyeshadow. Did get a little bit of fallout there, that's alright. I really like this teal shade in this palette because I feel like it's just deep enough that you can really like blend it out and make it a good crease color, or you can really like keep it very dense and then you have, you know, the perfect outer V kind of shade. So I feel like it's pretty multi-use. I know if you guys haven't checked out Annette's Makeup Corner, she was doing this series for a while, like a Married at First Sight kind of thing, where she was blending two different palettes together, and I think that's kind of a cool concept because you don't always have like the perfect color story in every palette, and then that gives you a chance to like use your palettes differently, more creatively. So definitely like that idea. Alright, putting that down. I need to be washing my brushes soon, so I'm getting down to like the brushes that I don't normally like. Alright, I'm going to use some of Colorful Black and just go in and kind of smoke out the outer V and crease here. Then let me switch over. Oh my gosh, this piece of hair is like... You guys know, if you've been watching me for more than 5 minutes, you know my hair is always on an escape mission, always on a mission to make me look bad, and it usually wins, to be perfectly honest. I think for the outer V then, I'm going to go in with this shade down here, which is called Alibi, and put that kind of on the outer third of the lid. And this is just like a deep plummy kind of purple shade. I really love the Color Green formula. It's so like buttery. If you're looking for a palette to try from them and you haven't tried anything before, I would consider the Queen of Hearts if you like the color story, because that palette is truly like so pretty. That looks nice, nice and smoky. Alright, and then I'll definitely use this for the lower lash line too, and the inner corner, but I want to get into this glitter. Oh my goodness. It's literally just loose. As soon as you twist off the cap, there's a glitter explosion everywhere, so that's fun. Fun for me. Alright, let's get some glitter glue for sure. And I'm going to pop this pretty much just all over the lid where I don't already have color. So that's kind of the goal. Let's get a good amount of glitter glue so this sticks well. Oh, that's probably way too much. Oh, alright. Well, that's cute as hell. Do you guys like that? Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Oh, Lord. They just had a sale on these two, and I hadn't gotten a chance to try the ones that I had already ordered. They were 50% off, and I was like, do I buy some more? And then I was like, Heather, no. Like, don't buy any more because you don't even know if you like this formula yet. Like, you don't even know if you can stand having it on your eyes. And now, I regret it. Now there is definitely like Fallout City, and when you open these containers you definitely get a lot that like dips out onto the countertop, so wherever you plan to do this, just know you're gonna be like Glitter City for a while, but that's okay. All I do down here is my makeup. Oh wow, so pretty. Alright, let me clean up underneath my eyes a little bit, and then we're going to get into foundation. Alright you guys, so this I just cleaned up a little bit, and actually the glitter cleaned up really easily with just a little bit of micellar water and a wipe. I didn't have to like scrub or scrape at my skin, and all the glitter that I had kind of like lost underneath my eyes all cleaned right off. So very happy with that. I'm going to go in with the NYX High Glass Primer since I've been testing that out recently. I love anything like dewy skin. I'm here for it. And I want to keep trying out the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation, because when I tried that last week I really liked it. So we're going to give that another try. Look how freaking glowy that is. That High Glass Primer gives you such a shine. It's ridiculous. But I love how nicely that sits on my skin. So I am happy with that. I'm going to go back in with the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie. Again, I'm LP4, so if you're a cool toned ghost like me, that's your shade. And I'm going to use, this is the 56 brush from Sephora's Pro line. And I'll try to speed through some of this if it's like boring, redundant stuff, so that you don't have to sit through all of it. Alright you guys, and this is foundation and concealer on. I think, you know, it gives a really nice kind of look overall to the face. I think the next step is to play with the blush palette. So let's swatch out these colors here so I can see kind of what I'm working with. Really? So I'll show you, these are the 3 shades swatched out. So obviously this first one all the way over here is the really like kind of vibrant, punchy kind of fuchsia shade. The middle shade is more of like a dusty kind of lavender shade. And then the third shade is that highlighter, and you can see it catches the light so nicely. It does have a little bit of a cast though, you know, on my skin tone because I am so fair. So that's kind of what I want to see is, can I make that work? Now in contrast, the other highlighter that really sprung to mind in terms of purple toned highlighters was that Retrograde. So let me grab just the purple side of this highlighter and swatch next to it for you. And you can see the Retrograde all the way over here by my knuckles is a little bit lighter, a little bit more lilac-y, a little bit pinker, and it's definitely got a little, I would say a little stronger of a reflect. So let's apply these to the face next. So I just went ahead and zoomed you guys in a little bit so that we can really get up close and personal with this blush palette. And again, I'll just show you how pretty these shades are. Even though the highlighter looks really deep in the pan, I think once you put it onto the actual like blush, I think it's going to look really complimentary. What I'm going to do is start with the lighter toned blush in the center, put that all over my cheeks, and then I'm going to use the deeper toned blush to kind of like blush drape kind of on the temples, sides of my cheeks. We're going to give that a try. We'll see if that works. I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Mr. Right blush brush, which I've had since 2015, 2016 maybe. It's been a long time, so this is a seasoned brush. Ooh, there we go. So I'm going in pretty intense into the pan here to try to get like a good amount of product up because it is pressed pretty firmly. But once you get like a good amount of product up onto the brush, then applying it onto the cheeks, you get a pretty good color payoff. I think for the other blush in this palette, I will definitely not need to go in quite that aggressively to get a good flush on my cheeks. Yeah, so you could definitely just leave it like that. I think this is a really nice kind of soft rosy kind of lavender type color. I don't think it's too cool. I don't think it looks like bruisey or anything, which is good because that's one of the things that I kind of worried about with picking this palette up is, you know, is it going to end up looking kind of like a bruise on my face instead of like a nice blush, but I think it looks good. All right, so let's get a slightly smaller brush. I'm going to use actually this Pure Cosmetics and Barbie brush. It's kind of like a little pinched brush, and we're going to go in with Cyber Babe, which is that really like fuchsia-y kind of shade, that first one. And as I expected, that one is definitely much more intense. So I like placing it a little further back on my face. And you definitely just have to tap into it. You don't need anything like real crazy to get that one up. Alright, and now you can see obviously with that second blush shade, this is a lot more intense. Again, I don't think it looks bruisey, which is good, but I do think it's a lot more vibrant. So if you're somebody who likes a very subtle blush, then this palette is probably not for you. Number one, because it's already not a subtle blush color story to begin with. This shade is very, very pretty, and I think the kind of like softness of this one will work for a lot of different people. In lighter skin tones, in medium or deeper skin tones, I'm not sure how well this is going to show up, and it may look a little bit like ashy or dusty. Again, I'm not a deeper skin tone, so I can't say for sure. This one I think would work really well on deeper skin tones because it is so pigmented, but for lighter or medium skin tones, you're going to want to have a very gentle hand or it's going to get way out of hand very quickly. Alright, let's try Hologram, which is this highlighter here. I'm going to use this, what is this? The flat setting powder brush from Fuchsia Cosmetics, and I like this for highlighter. I think it is such a nice little brush. Oh wow, this is giving me like 80s vibes for sure, like Cyndi Lauper vibes. Alright guys, so this is with the highlighter on. The highlighter definitely gives me a little bit of like a lavender cast. You can see it like pretty solidly right there as like a stripe on my face. When I turn, it does give a good reflect of light, but I think it's just too deep for my skin tone, which really sucks because it's such a pretty shade. But I definitely, you know, I'll keep playing with it and see if I can get it to lighten out a little bit. But this I think is going to be too intense for me. So let me grab some bronzer, let me grab some setting powder and see if I can kind of calm this down a little bit. Alright, so I put on some bronzer, I put on some setting powder. I still think it's a little bit too dark for my skin tone. You can still see it's very stripy on my skin. But let's go ahead and finish off the eyes. I think what I'm going to do for the lower lash line is put in kind of a pop of purple to try to tie some of this together. So I'm going to use that purple that looks blue to you guys, and this is just a Sigma eye shading brush that I'm going to use and like gently buff this into the lower lash line. And then in the inner corner, I'm just going to pop in a little bit of Legacy, which is that iridescent kind of white purple shade. Alright guys, so I did go ahead and just pop some lashes on. These are lashes I believe from a lash subscription service that is no longer in business, so I'm not even going to bother like telling you. I'm going to go in and just put a little bit of this highlighter over top of the other highlighter and see if that kind of lightens it up a little bit. Alright you guys, and this is pretty much the finished look. I did try to lighten up the blush just a little bit because I thought the blush and highlighter was just a little bit too intense, a little too stripy, so I did try to kind of calm that down a little bit with some setting powder. But you can definitely still see it. It definitely looks, you know, very pretty. I think the highlighter catches the light nicely, but I think it would look even nicer on like a medium or deeper skin tone. I think on my skin tone it's just a little bit too deep of a based shade that they have it in, so I think it just pulls a little bit funny on my skin. But again, I do think that this is really, really pretty, and I do like the quality of the product. Now, in terms of this being $28, am I happy with my purchase? That's a great question. I would say I'm kind of like 50-50 because I think the blushes are very pretty, but they're very hard pressed. So you really have to like kind of scrub your brush in there to get good color payoff for especially this middle shade Moon Boots. For this shade, because it's so intensely pigmented, you definitely want to use a really light hand. And so for that, I feel like it's kind of finicky because although it's the same formula, you have two very different results in terms of color payoff. So you have to treat them very differently. The highlighter I think is so pretty, but again, you have to treat it so carefully to try to get it to work on my skin tone that I'm not quite sure that this was like the best use of $28. However, I am happy that I got a chance to try it. The glitter is so pretty. I would love to pick up some more of these. I mean, look at that freaking sparkle. Like, look at how sparkly that is. I am obsessed. Aside from the fact that I literally have lash glue like pouring into my eyes and burning my retinas, I am very happy with how my eye look came out. I'll be really excited to use the other little sprinkles that I picked up, and I'll use that with this eyeshadow palette probably in another video just to test out the pink one, because I think the pink toned blushes and the highlighter in the pink toned palette is much lighter, so I think that'll really work nicely for me. Knowing what I know now, am I going to pick up the Mod palette, which is something that I had wanted to do? Probably not, because orange blushes, I do have a couple already in my collection, so I'm not like hurting for orange blushes. I also don't tend to wear those. That's not like my go-to color. And then the other thing is the highlighter in that one is like a very orange to gold duochrome type highlighter shade, which will definitely be too deep for my skin tone. So I think that it's great that they have palettes that work for different skin tones, but that one I don't think is going to work well enough for me to warrant purchasing it. But we'll see. Maybe in the future if it's on sale, I don't know. You never know. The makeup monster in me is always looking for makeup. So let's try the gloss. Where'd it go? There it is. So this is the shade Chill Pill, and I really don't know how this is going to look because, yeah, I don't know. I think all you do is use the lighter of the two lip liners. And then I'll probably take some of the deeper one. Yeah, so I just took some of the deeper lip liner and just focused it on the edges. Now let's go in with the gloss while I'm looking completely tragically insane. That's a lip gloss color. Yep, that exists as a lip gloss color. I don't think I'm a fan of the color. I don't think it looks normal on me in the least, and I don't know if that's because, you know, truly this is just like the most ridiculous color I could have picked, which is accurate, but also because it just looks kind of jarring with the rest of the eye look. The eye looks definitely more like blue, green, aqua, and this is definitely pulling more like purpley plum fuchsia, which is fine. As far as the formula, I feel like the formula is very like soft, but it's almost like a, like a vinyl, like a lip vinyl kind of thing, as opposed to like a lip gloss. Like it's not that oily, emollient, slippy kind of formula, but it also doesn't feel very like stringy. Like even as I talk, I'm not seeing like the little strings form, which is good. So I don't think this lip color goes with the eye look, which I think is part of what's throwing me off. And I don't think that the cheeks and everything go with the eye look either. So the lip color and the cheeks, they kind of go together. I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Personally, probably not a huge fan of this. I think the formula is really nice, so I would definitely like to try a different color. But I was trying to pick a color that I knew I wouldn't already have in my collection, which I totally did because I definitely don't have this color in my collection. But I think there's a reason I don't have this color in my collection. So that's that on the lip color. The lip pencils work just fine. Like I said, I think the palette is nice, but I don't think ultimately that it's like I'm the ideal skin tone for this palette. I think like a medium or deeper skin tone might do a little bit better with this palette than I did. But again, this is all first impressions. So you guys are going to have to let me know in a comment down below. What did you think of the eye look? What do you think of the sparkles? What do you think of the face palette? What do you think of this lip color? Because I'm supposed to film like 3 more videos after this, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to take off some makeup and fix things before I film the rest of my week of videos. But I wanted to show you guys this look and share this look with you because I want to try out new makeup. I want to see what things look like. I want to try different things. I've never tried purple blush. I've never tried this like Pepto purple lip gloss kind of thing. So we tried a whole lot of new today, that's for sure. Alright, let me know in a comment down below what you thought of this video. Definitely let me know what you're interested in seeing next. If you'd be interested in seeing the Summer of Love palette, which again is the pink toned palette that they have, definitely let me know in a comment down below so I can film that for you. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to catch you in my next video. Bye!